Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Z Frequency. I'm Andy Z. I'm doing it again in the morning. I don't have to start until later for work. So here I am. Good morning. Happy Monday. So the first thing I want to talk about is something that I found to be really bothersome myself personally. So let me do this correctly here. So the first thing is this. So we've got RFK Jr. with a Mike Tyson tattoo on his face that says "Eat real food," realfood.gov. So I don't know about everybody else, but as soon as I saw this, I was thinking about Mike Tyson, who I don't know when it was, but he was in the middle of a boxing match and bit some guy's ear off. And I was like, this is bizarre. This is bizarre. Why would he do this? And then we've got Mike Tyson that follows up. Grateful to Maha for letting me be part of this. This is the bite that wins. So to me, this is a slap in the face. We're talking about cannibalism. That's a huge issue. And they are basically, telling us to F off is basically what it is. Like that's flagrant. It is flagrant. They have absolutely no intention of doing anything with this. And that's our Secretary of Health. I mean, it's really, I feel like that was such a telling thing. And I feel like this has gone over so many people's head. People are cheering this on. I'm thinking, what are we talking about? Like he's talking about eating people's ears, eat real food. What are we talking about? It really is crazy. And that kind of brings me to my next topic, which are these, it's these false light saviors. So when you begin to start realizing things are not right, and you start kind of realizing that maybe what you and your friends and your family have all kind of seen as normal is not normal, you start to kind of do some research to validate your own feelings, your own thoughts. And this is where the players, the parasites, have budgeted for this and they have accounted for this, and they have these people in these situations that will catch you. There's all these traps to fall in once you have kind of broken loose. One of these traps would be Q. I'm sorry, I know this. A lot of people love Q and trust the plan, but trust the plan is such a scary and terrible thing to say to us right now. We need to be more self-reliant. We need to trust ourselves, not trust the plan. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope that I am wrong. I hope there is somebody out there working for us against these people, but I don't buy it. It's been 10 years. It's been 10 years and nothing has happened. Same thing with Trump, same thing with RFK Jr. And I wanted to kind of share my background on a trap that I'd fallen in for years, and kind of give you I want to tell the whole story so that people can recognize what happens, and why people are so, I guess, dedicated to these traps. So, maybe 15 years ago was when I first started, maybe not quite 15, maybe 12, 13, something like that, was the first time that I had started, while I was awoken. I'll tell that story a different time. But so I started to meditate. And my first really intense meditation was me going under the Sphinx. There was a craft, a huge spaceship, and there was like all this, I don't want to say it was machinery because it didn't look like machinery, but anyway, a hologram popped up, and it was the world, an eagle, and a snake. And so you'll see that on my logo because that was, and that is my mission. I didn't understand it then, but we're taking the world from under the control of the eagle, which that symbology is Anunnaki reptilians, to the snake, which is sovereignty. It's kind of like the Kundalini awakening, or I don't necessarily subscribe to the actual Kundalini. I really hope Renata's not going to bark. I'm sorry. But it is about sovereignty. It's about waking up and becoming empowered, and cycles of time, blah, blah, blah. You can look that up yourself. So that was point one. Point two, what really brought me to, and again, I don't want to name names, but I think it's important for everybody to kind of understand what this is realistically. So there was one day when I was walking around here, my house, and I telepathically had Tuatha, 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 Tuatha over and over and over in my head. I had never heard Tuatha. I was thinking, am I thinking Tuaca? I love that in my 20s. Doing shots of Tuaca was always fun. No, it wasn't afterwards, but it was in the moment. So I was like, what is Tuatha? What is this? And I look it up, and within the first few search results, I mean, I guess these are gods of Ireland, but within the first, few options was Elena Denan. And so I went on to her information, and it was like, this makes so much sense. Okay, so I'm being led here from otherworldly ways. This isn't normal. It's not like I just got a wild hair. Like I had somebody saying in my head Tuatha over and over and over. So then once I got into digging into her information, she also covers the symbolism of the eagle and the snake, which is, this is all about, this is my mission. I didn't realize or recognize what it meant, but she has hijacked that symbolism and has taken it on as her own. So now I've got two strange, unexplainable things that nobody could know about, and it couldn't have happened any other way unless it was placed there for me, leading me to her. And I don't think the symbolism there, my suspicion is there's a lot of people that have that symbolism for their mission. Definitely the people in my oversoul have seen that themselves. But figure, and also before I get there, when I watched her, there was heart resonance frequency that exuded, and they know what they're doing when they do that. The heart resonance frequency is something that is people that are sensitive to energy will pick up, not realizing that they're emitting the heart frequency resonate, or the heart resonance frequency, instead of me resonating it, if that makes sense. So I'm picking up her frequency, not on my own. So all those things, I was like, this is the real deal. This is the real deal. I've been led here. I've been led here by a way that I can't explain. So, but then as you watch and you learn all these, you kind of pay attention to these flights of fancy that she's on, going to Jupiter, going to the center of the galaxy. She does so much stuff. It starts to make you feel like your mission is obviously not as important. If they're not coming to pick me up, what am I doing here? So you kind of start vicariously living through her and thinking like, oh, her mission must be more important. This is what it is. And I'm not saying that she's saying that, but that's what happens. That's what people do. That's the next step. So once I kind of snapped out, I got a lot of help from Katie Bishop about that. I got a lot of help from Andrea about that, kind of pointing these things out. It was like a spell was over. I snapped out of the frequency, and I was like, oh, and my mission became very clear. I knew exactly what I was here for. I knew exactly what had happened. It was like it hindered me from doing what I was supposed to do. So, but then the other good thing about that is A, I'm able to explain to everybody here so that if you are in that with anything, and that could be any of these false light saviors, Galactic Federation, anything, you can snap out of it and there's no shame in it because it's designed specifically to capture us. I mean, that's what it's for. So there should be no shame in just now waking up. This is what it's for. It's designed for you. So once I snapped out of it, I realized, especially with the targeting, the very specific targeting that I had, you know what? There was also a live stream that she was on that really, like, they were saying exactly what I had done that day. And I was like, oh my gosh, they are, oh my gosh, I'm part of this group. I'm part, you know what I mean? No, I was being targeted. But then you realize if you're being targeted like this, and this is for all of us, you're a threat. And that's the most important thing to remember. If they've gone out of their way to set up all these traps or be very specific like this, you are a threat, which is a good thing. So I just wanted to kind of share that backstory with everyone so that if you've had any of these things, maybe this helps you identify a situation that you're in. And you can step out, and there's no shame in this because we're all human, and it's okay to be wrong, and it's okay to say, hey, you know what, I was wrong, now I'm on track. There's nothing wrong with that. So this also corresponds to a lot of things. You know, we're looking at the Galactic Federation. I mean, to me, if they're going to be saving us, why are we here? Why would we not be up there where we usually are and just saving the people from there? That's not how it works. Or we wouldn't be here. Why would we do this to ourselves? Same thing with Q. Why trust the plan? I'm not trusting the plan. They're making you trust outside of yourself. That's the idea with all of these things. They're pulling your attention and your trust outside of yourself to something more powerful. It's a worship gene. We have a worship gene. We were designed to be subservient. And the whole point of us right now having this movement is to trust ourselves, to be sovereign, and to not worship anything outside of ourselves. We have everything that we need in here. We have everything that we need. We are source. We connect directly to source. This is what they don't have. This is why they're using us, because they can't do this. They've forfeited that. So, and a lot of that is learning to be, even though we're here in the midst of a war and it's a fight, but we really have to learn how to see our enemies and be compassionate for those enemies, and I'm not saying don't stand up for yourself, but if you've meditated and you keep yourself kind of stable, when you're in those moments, when you're in a situation, you automatically know what to do. I mean, I've been in situations where I've had to defend myself, and you just know in that moment, it's time to take action. But there's other times where I probably have been in situations where other people would have been terrified, but because I meditate, I knew that I was fine. I felt comfortable. I didn't feel scared at all. If you are centered and calm and you have that brain frequency going, and it's a standard thing for you, you know what to do in that moment. Your intuition kicks in, and you know it's time to engage or it's time to just be calm and be loving. That's another thing that I want to talk about is the love and light. It's true, but it's been weaponized. So we do want to be loving, and we want to anchor our light into this matrix, and that's what's going to start toppling it. However, the message that, if you're not having these contacts, just like Elena did, well, you just need to do the work and you're just not there yet. No, that's not what it is. We're all there already. And there's always improvement. There will always be improvement, but you're ready. You're already there. They're using you right now because you are already ready. That's why they have us. We're all ready. We're all plugged in. So stop thinking you have more work to do before you can reach a certain level. That's not true. You're good enough. You are everything that you need. they are using you because you already are there. That's the point. So you do want to be more loving. You do want to raise your frequency, but it's not like, oh, it's this unattainable point. It's not. That's not where you're already there. That's why they're using you. So just wanted to make that clear. Now, I also want to make another thing clear. I'm not saying that there is no support out there. That's not at all what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there is support. What they're not going to do is blow smoke up your ass and tell you that you've got a special role in Ascension and you're just this chosen. We've seen those movies, and probably a lot of us react to those movies because we're here on a mission. So there's those movies where someone's the chosen one and they're going to have special powers and they're going to topple the evil of the planet. And while that's true, we are not chosen, but we are here on a mission that activates and triggers something in us. So again, they've weaponized us to make it about your ego so that they can later on say, this is about you. You have a special role, blah, blah, blah. Don't fall for it. We are on a mission. It's not about you. It's about everyone. And really, those of us that are on a mission, we have to remember we are here to save the people on this planet. If we don't typically reside here, we incarnated here for these people. We're saving this planet. This group of people are important, and that's why we are doing this. So don't get caught up in your storyline. Don't get caught up in any of this stuff. Stay focused on yourself. Bring the light that you have inside of you. That's what they're using already. You don't need to work harder and achieve more. It's already there. You're just trying to refine it. So, and again, yeah, we do have support from ETs. I just saw a craft last night, actually. Only my second one ever, it was pretty exciting. But that's how they're going to support you. And once you've reached a certain level of frequency, you'll probably will be able to withstand their frequency in the same space as yours. But they're never going to say, oh, you're the chosen one. You have a very special role, blah, blah, blah. That's not what it's going to be. They may guide you. They may teach you. But they're never going to hand over information because it's always us that has to uncover all the stuff inside of us. And you do that through meditation. I hate to keep railing on it, but this is really what it is. And through your intuition. So anyway, I appreciate all of you watching and listening and dealing with my unorganized rambling. But have a wonderful day. Bring the light, anchor it everywhere you go, and just be kind to people. That's really what it is. Be kind to your enemies. Be better than them. That's what it is. I appreciate you. Stay strong. And if you have any questions or comments, you can email zeefrequency@gmail.com. All right. Thanks, guys. Stay strong out there.